Boom, baby, boom. Rise and shine. Even on a cloudy, rainy day, people are still moving about in their life, moving about in their mind. And this morning, marijuana motivation, we're going to talk about mentally healthy because that's what matters to us, right? There we go. It's more important that it fits in our minds and in our souls and in our bodies. And I'm going to talk mind, body, and soul this morning about being healthy, mentally healthy, and what it takes for me to keep my sanity. And that's Saints Addiction. Peace. Let's get into it, shall we? Shall we? So, a lot of things are incongruent in life, right? And yeah, we'll just stay alive right here and sit on my porch and smoke a joint with me. Let's relax a little, let's reconnect, recalibrate thing. There we go, reconnecting. Um, Recently going through a breakup. I feel like I've been in a car accident. Every time these things happen, it's such a shock to my system that I literally feel inside myself a shock. Yeah, there we go. We got people doing different things all over the place. I got my neighbors being naked, and she got boyfriend, and people taking showers and sweeping. There's so many intricacies to relationships that I don't necessarily always see. I don't know what everyone else does or what's their pre-programming or how they process. Hold on, let me get some weed. You know, but I do know that a lot of us are so shocked at our systems that we have to regulate them ourselves, right? Not for nothing, but we all have to regulate ourselves. It's not. There we go. I'm just gonna sit still and roll a joint with you this morning and have a conversation. We got the loud ass neighbors, but hopefully they turn that shit down and make that a reality so I can finish my show and do my own thing. And that's what we're gonna talk about this morning. Um, Healthy mentally. This is the most important thing to me. I don't want retribution. I don't want revenge. I don't want some sort of static to happen in the end. I literally just want mental happiness. And it seems to be the thing that's the hardest thing to do in life, is finding your happy place or finding something to be happy about. A lot of us are so distraught about the conditions of our lives. I was listening to the audiobook, it's called Don't Believe What You Think, and just how our feelings hijack us. We get emotionally hijacked. And unfortunately, that's what it seems to happen. So if you are loud and obnoxious out in the corners, or you're misunderstanding things and things don't seem to go your way mentally, it's easy for us to stray emotionally, right? Like our feelings, like since we were children, are to throw a fit as soon as we don't get what we want to get. And life isn't fair like that. You know what I mean? Life doesn't have a promised space for any of us. It just keeps going on regardless of what we do. And it was something that I had to reflect on with myself, was just what I did. I started speaking louder because my neighbors want to be fucking loud and ignorant, and I want to be heard in this life. So I started a show, and I started to make clothing and have my message go everywhere so I can overtalk loud, obnoxious fucking Thai girls that are on ice all the time, right? And I have to come back to my house and I look around and I barely recognize it. I probably shouldn't call it my house because I'm just staying here. Everything is on a time limit. I'm actually literally down to the last 28 days of being in Thailand. After this shock to my system, I think it's time that I move on and get back to what I had planned. My plan was only to travel for a year. I froze my business. I paused my friends. I paused my life in Las Vegas so I could come here and get mentally stable. And that's exactly what I did. And I feel somewhat more confident about my skills because I'm in such good shape physically. I feel like it's sending me the electrolytes or the endorphins that I need to get myself together mentally, if that makes any sense. And it's such a good feeling to have my body respond for me than against me with 30 pounds around my waist, 30, 40 pounds of fat around my waist, telling me to run and get some ice cream at 4 a.m. You know what I mean? Like that was my old MO. I had like no self control. I literally remember going into the grocery aisle and seeing my friends partying, grabbing 18 packs of beer, going like, "Hey, Sam, want to come with us?" And I'm just like, "Fuck no, man! I want to come with me." You know what I mean? I want to get me right, and that's what this whole morning motivation about. And smoking marijuana or your emotional style, your attachment style. The world would get you confused really quick in a hurry. And we're all running around with different languages and different backgrounds and different creeds and different colors. So it makes sense that not all of us, it matches, right? It doesn't all match to us all. And unfortunately, that's what I talk about when I ball and do this thing called life is how to emotionally stabilize what's been going on with me. So I'm not this emotional wreck that just lets anything happen to him. I have some sort of compass or direction in this. And the more that I overthink it, the more emotional that I'll get. You know what I mean? I'm listening to this morning. Let's play it. Listening to the YouTube video. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I was just watching it. And Don't Believe What You Think is really good about this, but I'll figure it out. Tony Baker Fresh, I wish I knew before being dumped. Secrets of the Dumper. I didn't know I was even watching that. There's some stuff I've been on. Oh, come on, our commercials. Nobody wants the commercials. Okay. I said nobody wants the commercials, bitch. And you tell me another one, bitch.
When you have divine thoughts from infinite intelligence, there's a sense of knowingness to it. It contains the truth, and you just know deep down that it's right. Your intuition will almost never seem logical or rational, but that's exactly what we want, because we don't want it to be predictable. If it were predictable, it wouldn't be miraculous, and it wouldn't contain the infinite possibilities of the universe, which are all spontaneous by nature. Your intuition will almost always go against your logical, rational mind, so be prepared for that. It will whisper to you that you should talk to this random person in a coffee shop that beats there for them during a difficult time. It will tell you to step into and live in your divine gift and put yourself out there to share the truth of what you know. It will softly beckon you to pursue what you truly want in life versus following what everyone else says that you should want. These are a few examples of the infinite number of ways it will speak to you, and when you follow it, it will always create miracles and abundance beyond your wildest imaginations. So why don't more people listen to their intuition if it always knows what to do and creates abundance whenever it is followed? Fear. Listening to our intuition can be scary or extremely daunting. This is because our intuition lives in the space of the unknown. In other words, our intuition is spiritual and operates in the field of infinite possibilities, which by nature is the field of the unknown. We as humans always fear the unknown because we can't predict what might happen. It is only when we step into the unknown that we can begin to experience the limitless possibilities that life can bring to us. This is why magical things and miracles happen when we trust our intuition. We are literally stepping into the zone of pure possibility. It is for this reason that we only need to know what of what we want to manifest, but not the how. The only way you can enter this space of miracles is through non-thinking. If we think, we immediately get ejected out of the space and enter a state of anxiety, worry, and suffering. Our thinking will try to predict what might happen based on the past. This is why most people get more of the same of what they've always gotten. They try to use their limited personal mind to create something they have never experienced before, innocently not realizing that they must step into the unknown by entering a state of non-thinking and listening to their intuition. We can only ever create something we have never experienced in the realm of infinite possibilities, but the only way to make that happen is to go where we haven't gone before, which is the unknown.
And that's where I'm at. I'm in the unknown. I don't know where I stand in my future. I don't know where I stand in my emotionality, and I don't understand what had happened to me. It's like a car accident. It's disorienting. You don't know what is happening. You don't understand why things are happening the way they're supposed to happen. This guy and I were supposed to be in business when I first landed. He just rolled up and he doesn't say hi to me. Didn't know it was going to go in that direction. Didn't understand the politics on the island. Didn't understand the relationship. And possibly that's what happened with me in this breakup is I just didn't understand. You know, I mean, I couldn't see that she needed more emotional support from me. And I thought I was giving a lot of emotional support since I'm not that emotionally inclined. And I thought it was everybody's job to pick up their own moods. And I had this conversation with my bestie Kimmy yesterday after I did my morning motivation. And she said, "You and me both. We both have this high energy." You know, she was like, "That's why me and you fit better together, because we're both high energy and we don't want to slow down because someone doesn't feel right inside, or they don't know how to control their own temper, or they don't know how to get their own self up, and in the game of life, right? I didn't want to deregulate or slow down because someone else couldn't get their shit right. And that's just all it felt like. It felt like I was in a situation where nothing I could do could get it right on track. I tried to be monogamous. I tried to be poly. I tried to be gentle. I tried to be aggressive. I tried to be quick. I tried to move fast, and so many things I tried, and it never lasts. It just I find that I am, maybe it's the signs that I'm dating. Maybe it's the trauma I've been through as a child. You know, learned about CPTSD, and children have post traumatic stress disorder, and all the things that I went through as a child come out as a fucking adult, man. It fucking sucks, dude. It's only gonna come out in your relationships. It's barely gonna come out in your businesses. You know, business is one thing. It has no personality. It's just business, right? There's no emotionality to it, but in life there are things that are going to make you emotional. And that's what I started to key in on, was the emotionality of what I was going through was so high and so viscous that almost everyone was in fight or flight mode constantly, when I'm living on an island where I should be calm and comfy. I was ratcheted up to a level that I didn't even see. I couldn't see my forest through the trees. I couldn't see why this was happening to me, or what part I was participating in it, or why did I get in this car accident? Why did I get in this breakup? Why, you know, we're always going to ask, why did that person have to die? And the flow of life, right? You know, this very chaotic flow. It seems so gentle when the sun is going around the earth and it's moving all slow, and it's to an in pace and in time. But in my life, you know, it's been dramatic. Like the weather was raining earlier. It's just been so much drama and so much rain and so much crying and so much pain. And I am the rhyming motivator, so I mean I make these rhyme, but I don't want them to rhyme. I don't want to have to rhyme rain with pain. I don't want to have to rhyme trauma with drama. I don't want these things to be ubiquitous and what do you, correlated. You know, I don't want the two to touch actually, but a part of us is always going to touch this. You know, a part of us is always going to have something reaching outside of us, maybe, you know, if I could say that correctly, something that's beyond us and we can't actually physically see or understand. And how do we process these things? How do we become a better me, bettering me, myself, my reactions, my time, my speed? How do I get me to become a better me? And these are the questions I ask myself every morning. Let's go with the complex stress disorder. If you haven't had it already, it's going to be part of it. 20 breakup fetch I wish I knew after being dumb. Ready for love. Healthy people look for these characteristics.
Hold on as long as we can, and whether it ends now or soon, we lose years of our lives this way. So if this is familiar to you and you're drained and you're confused, I want to tell you why this experience, this moment where you've just lost what you thought was a good relationship, is an incredible opportunity to heal. Not a tragedy, an opportunity. When you get pushed out of a relationship with the wrong person, whether you know it or not, you've just taken a big step closer to the right person. Because now your path is clear. And with some healing, the right person can find you. So if you're feeling ready for this good thing to happen, to meet up with the right person, I have some advice for you. The job in front of you is not to run out there and meet someone, not yet, but instead to raise the brightness of what I call your cab light. Cab light. Do you know this term? You know how a taxi cab has a light on top? And when the cab light's off, it means there's already a passenger in that cab. But when the light's on, hey, it's free. Well, this is a metaphor that refers to the vibe of someone who is ready and open to meet a really great new person. Cab light. Now, what happens when your cab light won't come on? Has this ever happened? You feel ready to meet someone, you're thinking about it all the time and maybe reaching out to people and putting in a lot of effort, but it's like no one can see you. You're not attracting interest, or you're attracting interest but not the right kind, or not the right people. That's a broken cab light, by the way, where you're trying to meet someone but the only ones noticing you aren't anyone who's safe or appropriate or available for you. And if you're feeling anxious to meet someone, it's tempting to just rush in and think, oh, well, I can make this work. Have you ever done that? Where you bond with that person and then realize who they actually are and then spend the next 2 years trying to retrofit them into the person you hoped they were the first time you met. And you know how that ends. When your cab light's working properly and it comes on, good people show up in your life. People who are appropriate, wonderful, totally thrilled to be with you. So how do you make that happen? How can you get your cab light to shine brightly in just the right way to attract just the right person for you? I'm going to tell you. But let me first explain what made...
You're too loud. You're too obnoxious. You're too long-winded, woman. Get to the fucking point. Jesus Christ, dude. That wasn't it. I was wanting it from earlier. You can figure it out yourself. That's what's just going on it. But 20 breakup facts.
You through your breakups the best I can. Guys, I am now on Instagram, so if you could do me a solid, hit the link there, and if you could support a dump. Number 1, no contact is not to get your ex back. It is to get you back. No contact is to neutralize the effect your ex has over you. Stop counting the days and start counting your steps and calories. You will feel and look better for it. Number 2, if your ex cheated, rebounded, or monkey branched, fuck them and let them burn. If they want to use emotional painkillers so they don't have to feel the pain of your breakup, do not be there when the painkillers wear off. Number 3, the breakup isn't about you, but it is your responsibility to heal how you feel about it. Your ex left the relationship because of how they felt, not because of how you feel. So don't make their feelings all about you. It's savagely painful, so the sooner you take responsibility for your healing, the better off you will be. Number 4, can I contact my ex to see how they are doing? Are they dying? Did someone in their family die? No? Then don't fucking contact them. You think you're in pain now? Wait and see how it feels when you don't get the response you want from them. Number 5, blaming your ex for how you feel disempowers you. Don't give anyone that kind of power over you. Number 6, surrender to the truth of the situation because their actions will tell you everything you need to know. The truth is like poetry, and most people fucking hate poetry. Number 7, your ex saying no to you means you can say yes to everything else. Number 8, if your ex doesn't contact you, they are not worth contacting. Do not invest in someone who doesn't invest in you. Number 9, exercising, keeping a journal, taking a cold shower, and meditation never fail to make you feel better. Number 10, we make our exes into caricatures and put them on pedestals. We distort who they really are and make them out to be better than who they really are. The fact is, your ex is a living, breathing, farting and shitting a meat monkey just like everyone else. Number 11, your feelings are just feelings. They won't kill you. Dr. Robert Glover, no more Mr. Nice Guy. Number 12, your journey doesn't end with a breakup. It's an opportunity to level up and start something new and exciting. Number 13, when you were with your ex, you may have thought, this is the happiest I've ever been. Post-breakup, you may be thinking, I'll never be that happy again.
That's not true.
Let's reframe that mindset to the following. That was the happiest I've ever been with that person. That does not mean I can't be happier with someone else. Number 14, social media removes your feelings and installs someone else's narrative. Number 15, the right person for you is the person that chooses you every day, even when the butterflies have long gone. Number 16, don't ever be the go-to person for the person you can't go to. Number 17, if you can't look back on your relationship and think, you were wrong despite you thinking it was your partner that was wrong, then you've not learned anything, and nor will you.
I thought
Number
about it
18.
yesterday. What did I do
Most
wrong?
dumpers hurt as much as the dumpee. They just hurt on a different timeline to the dumpee. Number 19. Life is way, way easier when you give a fuck more about yourself than anyone else.
Damn,
Life
selfish.
is also a lot more fun when you stop giving a fuck about the fucks that don't deserve your fucks. And number 20,
Amen.
my personal favorite. The best gift you can give to your ex is the breakup. Walk away with dignity and let them think happy, happy thoughts forever, because this shit is cyclical. Their short-term gains will always lead to long-term pain.
Gain over
Let them
pain.
have it.
Gain over pain.
My
That's mostly
friends, I
saints, bro. And thank you for that, whoever made that video. You know, we don't see it that way. You know, we only see our pain. And we can only feel what we feel, and then we can only think what we think. But the whole point of not overthinking is that for me is to sit there and go, how I don't have it so bad. I'm finally here safe for another month. I'm gonna heal myself. It's a nice over cloudy day. It's a good day to get a haircut and beard trim and go handle some shit. But man, these life stuff's tough. This life stuff is tough. And anybody that promises you that they got all the answers is lying. I'm one of the first people to get on here and go, I don't have all the answers, man. I'm as lost as the next guy. I try to recount my steps and calibrate myself and orientate myself after this accident. My head's just spinning. And as I try to roll around Thailand and handle my shit, you know, it's all over the place, and I have to slow down and recollect what had happened. You know, sometimes you're just sitting at a red light and you get hit. You know, and these things happen so fast. They're so destructive. You don't even know why you're in the hospital. You just might wake up in the hospital. And these happen to us. Tragedy happens before all of us. Trials and tribulations are a part of life. And as I sit in this life without my wife, without hope of love, and with so much pain, you know, it's triggering. It's triggering. It triggers, you know, childhood trauma. It triggers abandonment issues. It triggers loneliness. And I'm okay with being alone. I've been alone most of my life, you know, not most of my life, but like I've had long periods of just my alone time, just me being single, maybe too much time. And I acknowledge that as well, you know, too much time being in my mind. I think too much. I'm always trying to figure out my life. That's what I do in the morning. Motivation every morning is to rise and shine and find that shine even on a cloudy day. I got sunshine on a cloudy day. Dum, 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 dum. And I'm not gonna fake my happiness. I'm not going to fake my pain either. You know, I'm not gonna fake myself into some unrealistic expectations or basically I got dumped. I'm just gonna leave it like that. I got dumped. I kept trying to make this person love me. Every time I tried to get her to hold still, she'd squirrel away from me, and she would do it again every time. Whether it's a motorcycle or Bangkok or marriage, it was going to leave me, and I had to come to terms with that. It's something that I try to change myself or adjust myself to fit people. A lot of us are like, oh, they're just supposed to fit. I'm under the assumption that I have to make it work. Like everything else, I try to approach it with like my business savvy and that kind of intensity that I have. I talked to my friend Kimmy, my best friend, and we talked about our intensity, how it can wear people down, where we're too much for people, we're pumpkin people, we're alpha people. And I told her, you know, you should try a different strategy. You know, you should embark these people into becoming your first mate and assisting you. She goes on hikes, and these guys don't want to listen to a woman, right? Especially an alpha woman when they're alpha black men, and they don't want to be kowtowed down to a woman. So I said, why don't you deputize them? Why don't you make them your first mate and say, hey, yo, I can tell you're an alpha. Come over to the side, talk to him like a man. Yo, dog, I'm gonna need your help today. I'm gonna need your help to be a guide with me. You know, I want you to help people stay on the trail, stay on the speed limit, stay safe. That's what we need. We need our whole team to come back safe. And as a man, I know that would respond to me. You talking to me as a leader now. Okay, I got a job to do. I know if I'm out there and I can't stand you, then I'm gonna speed off and ignore you and disrespect you. And same here, you know, my left ear's ringing. I'm not sure why, but same here applies. I'm saying to the same advice that I give to my friend was the same, like I also have to deputize. I have to deputize my friends when I'm in need and spend more time with them. They're like, man, we really missed you. And we missed the way that you talk. And I haven't had a conversation like that in 5 days. And I was just like, I'm back. But how much of me is back, on a cloudy day like today? It's gloomy and not so sunshiny, and it plays on your emotions. The environment will always play on your emotions. Your mind will always play with your emotions, and I'm still in recovery. I got into a car accident. I was literally going to marry this girl. I thought she was so perfect for me. I was forcing her to be perfect for me. I was forcing her to marry me. I was dragging the runaway bride to the altar, and it didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it should be so runaway. It doesn't feel like it. Here comes the rain. It doesn't feel like it should run away in my mind. That I thought should join me and want to spend time with me and build with me. And instead, I had to piece it together all the time, and it kept disappearing in my hands like water or air. I kept trying to capture air, and unfortunately, that's not how air works. And as an earth sign, I want it to be stable like me, and as an air sign, it wanted to be free. So she has her freedom. She has her freedom from me. I hope she finds her own mental stability. I want her to be strong and successful. I don't want bad things to befall her. I wish her to have everything that she dreams of. That's the love in me. I love her enough to leave her alone. Let's put it that way. Same, not wanting to be a mental handicap or a disability. I wanted to be of assistance and possibility. And the possibility of being a shiny on a rainy day is probably low, but this is how I do my show. I keep it real with the world and myself, and one of the realest on YouTube. So when you're being real and you not being angry and you're not being salty and you're not being destructive and it starts to be rainy, it's a good time for me to sit still. I'm going to get in this hammock and watch the rain and let it rain on me and rain away these tears, rain away these fears, rain away these negativities, and start to live inside myself, find a way like I always do, and start making some decisions on this new information. Should I stay or should I go now? Should I get off the pot? Life has never been easy for me, but if you got more answers than I got, please comment below. Peace and love. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye but not forever in Phoenix. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to enjoy this rain. And may life shine upon you. Peace. Ciao. Bella. Beijos.